What's going on? Welcome back to our Facebook ads training. It's Landon and Staves.
Welcome. This is a good one.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do inside of this video. We're going to walk you through how to discover your perfect, most ideal buyer. So let me explain why this is so important. The magical thing about Facebook ads is this. The magical thing is that you can actually pick very specific people to target with your Facebook ads. See, anytime you have a product or service that you're looking to sell online, it's important to realize that there are some people who are extremely likely to buy your product, and there are other people who just aren't likely to buy.
Right.
And so what a lot of people do with their marketing is we ask them the question, like, who's most likely, like I remember my first mentor, he's like, Landon, who's most likely to buy your product? And I was like, well, my product is a business opportunity. It makes people
Anybody
more money.
with a beating heart.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a business opportunity. Everyone wants to make more money. Therefore, my product is for everyone.
Right?
And my mentor just kind of like scowled and he's like, no. He's like, no, that's not correct. If you target everyone with your marketing, he's like, you're just essentially wasting money because there are a lot of people within this group of everyone that don't want to buy. And I'll give an example. Let's imagine for a second that there's a store that sells golf clubs and they target me with their ad.
Right.
Well, I don't golf ever. And so if a golf company advertised to me with their brand new pair of golf clubs, I'm going to look at the ad and I'm just going to totally skip it, and it won't even enter my stream of conscious for even a second.
You won't even see it.
That would be a completely wasted ad dollar for that golfing company.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the other hand, I am a massive sunglasses fan. I love Ray-Ban sunglasses. I swear by them. If Ray-Bans placed an ad in front of me and offered a new deal on a brand new pair of Ray-Bans,
now you're leaning in a little bit.
I would look at that ad like, holy crap. I'd click on that ad and I might even buy a brand new pair of Ray-Bans just because they placed an ad in front of me. See, and so what we want to do with your advertising, and it doesn't matter what kind of product you have, you can literally target anybody on Facebook. You can actually target only people who like Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
So if you're selling a Ray-Bans knockoff, guess what you can do? You can actually target Ray-Bans customers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that freaking amazing?
It's cool.
Stapes?
It's awesome. And you're probably like, well, Landon Stapes, okay, so I have a business. Who are the people that want to buy a business opportunity?
That's exactly what we're going to talk about here in a second, is who your perfect, most ideal buyer is.
Because there's millions of them out there.
Exactly. And so you have your avatar. So what we do, so here's what we do. So we have our product, right? Let's imagine for a second that you're selling a business opportunity. And that's just because a lot of the people that come through, that's what they're selling. But this does work for any product or service. Facebook has the ability to target anybody. And we'll show you exactly how to do that here in just a little bit. But let's imagine that you're selling a business opportunity. So the question is, just like Stave says, is like, who is likely to buy a business opportunity? And so what we create is what we call, in the internet marketing world, what we call a customer avatar. And you're going to want to write this term down because it's super crucial to the longevity of your business. A customer avatar. So the idea behind an avatar is that an avatar is essentially a perfect specimen. So when we talk about avatar, we're talking about a perfect specimen. So when we're talking about your customer avatar, what we're talking about is the perfect, most ideal buyer, the perfect customer, right? Just like I said, I am the perfect customer for Ray-Bans. I bought multiple pairs of Ray-Bans. I love Ray-Bans. If they placed an ad in front of me, I'd be likely to buy it. If I saw an ad for golf clubs, I am not their customer avatar. I'm not likely to buy it. And so what we want to do inside of this video, before you go and start placing your ads, right? You don't want to just go place your ad and target everybody, because that would be like you targeting your business opportunity to people who don't want to buy a business opportunity. What we want to do is put your business in front of only the people who are likely and want to join that business. Imagine that. I remember when I first got started in network marketing back in 2009, I'm a 19-year-old kid. I'm like, what do I do first? And he's like, go wander around shopping malls.
3-foot rule.
Yeah. Now, most of the people in shopping malls do not want to buy a business opportunity. They have careers. They've heard negative things about it. They are not interested in becoming an internet marketer whatsoever. It's not on their radar. And so I was essentially just wasting my time. Well, now imagine a world in 2013 where all of a sudden I realized that with Facebook ads, I can target, instead of everyone in a shopping mall, I could pick, right? Imagine in the shopping mall there's 1,000 people. And let's say 5 of those people want to buy a business opportunity. Instead of targeting everybody, I can just target those 5. Imagine what that did for my business. Well, all of a sudden what happened was I went from 0 people interested in my business to 10 to 15 people every single day reaching out to me saying, hey, can I have more info?
It's incredibly powerful. This is what changes the game for all of our clients.
This is what changes the world. And it's the first time in history that this is possible. You know, back in the day with TV advertising or radio advertising, essentially you had your product, right? Let's imagine that it's the golf club. So we'll use that as an example throughout this entire training. So we have the golf clubs. Well, you go out there and you do an ad on TV, and
maybe
you can
on
kind of
ESPN
target sports fans. But even sports fans, you don't know if they're interested in golfing, because I watch ESPN all the time, but I don't golf.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was really hard to target people. So you're kind of just doing blanket ads. It's kind of like shotgun marketing. Where you're just blasting a shotgun and hoping it sticks. What Facebook ads are is kind of like sniper marketing. You're picking an ideal person and I don't want to say shooting them. That doesn't sound very good. But you're picking them out. It's kind of like you're placing your fishing pole right in the place where the fish is most likely to be. It's like a surgeon dissecting. And so what we want to do first is we want to get clear on who is a customer avatar for your business. Now, some of you might have all sorts of different products you're selling online. You might be involved in weight loss, or you might be involved in coaching and consulting. You've got all sorts of products and services that you might be selling. We are going to target this particular training towards the business opportunity person. And the reason why is because the majority of our clients, that's the niche that they're in. But you can take the ideas and principles and you can literally apply it to anything. Does that make sense, Dave?
It does, 100%. Let's dive in.
Let's do it. So here's kind of the thing. There are actually 2 phases to your customer avatar, and you're going to want to write both of these down, and we're going to cover both phases in this video. So the first phase of your customer avatar is the big, broad group of people who are likely to buy your product. The big, broad group of people, and we'll explain what that means here in a second. So it's kind of like we have the avatar person here, and we're, just for the sake of argument for this video, this is going to symbolize the big, broad group of people who are interested in your product. Then what we want to do is we want to pick out the individual person who is like the perfect person within that particular interest. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, it does.
Within that big group of people, there's like the ideal candidate, because what we want to do when we go to write the actual ad is we don't want to talk to this big, broad group of people. We actually want to talk to one person. Because the clearer you are on the one person you're targeting, it seems counterintuitive, but what actually happens is if you just write your ad for one person, this big broad group of people is actually more interested in it than if you wrote to the big group. Does that make sense?
It does. Like, again, go back to the mall analogy.
Yeah.
So essentially there's 1,000 people in a mall that are broadly interested in what we have to offer, and then there's 5 people that are the perfect ideal customer that will narrow down.
Actually, essentially, Steve, so you have, that's actually a perfect metaphor. So you have the 1,000 people in the mall, right? And of these 1,000, 995 aren't even interested at all. And that's kind of like, it would be like targeting the 1,000 would be like targeting everyone on Facebook, right? And then you have 5 people, which is like the group of people who are interested. And this is kind of like the interest we can target on Facebook. And then what we want to do with our ad is actually write our ad towards one of those people.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah.
Does that make
100%.
sense to everyone watching? So that's what we can do with this ad. And I know, like, at first, the first time hearing, you're like, okay, what's going on? So let's give you some real practical information. So the question is, who's most likely to buy my product? Well, the answer to that question is this, and it seems counterintuitive, and I'll scroll down. So again, with regards to Facebook, there are 2 phases to your customer avatar when you market on Facebook. There's phase 1, which is the specific interest you target. So when you go and you place an ad on Facebook, you can actually target people based on what they're interested in. So let's say, for example, you're selling golf clubs. We'll use that as the example again. You can actually target people who are interested in golfing on Facebook. So instead of targeting you have this big ocean of Facebook, instead of targeting everyone there, you can find a little neck of the woods where it's just people interested in golfing, and you can target just those people. That's what's called targeting an interest on Facebook. And in later modules, we'll show you exactly click by click how you can do that. Then there's phase 2, which is the specific person that makes up that interest. So then you have the ideal golfer who's most likely to buy, and we want to write our ad specific for that person. Does that make sense, Abe? So are we super clear on that?
Yeah.
So then, once we know that, we can talk about phase one. So again, here's the question to ask yourself. It's simply, who is most likely to buy my product? This is the question you ask yourself. I would even write that down because some of you, if you're not involved in a business, if you're selling a weight loss product, it's like, who's most likely to buy this weight loss product? Who's most likely to join this business opportunity? Who's most likely to buy this dating course or whatever your thing is? And here's the answer to that question, and I want you to write this down. The answer is people already in your niche, which means that's people already buying products like yours. And it seems counterintuitive. It's like, so wait, you're telling me that the person most likely to buy golf clubs is the person who already owns a pair of golf clubs?
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. But yes, that is the truth. Because here's why. Someone who already owns a pair of golf clubs and they're already out there golfing is infinitely more likely to buy another pair of golf clubs than me.
You don't
even golf.
You don't need to persuade them that golfing's cool.
No.
That new golf clubs are a good thing.
They already love it.
They already believe it. They already love it.
They already love it. So if you look at a business opportunity and it seems weird at first. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like,
business.
They already have. It's like, so wait, you're telling me that the person most likely to buy a business opportunity is someone currently in a business opportunity? Yes.
Yep.
That seems weird at first, but here's the reality. Once someone breaks the seal and they buy something once, it's kind of like they become the converted, right? They're already in. They're a believer. We no longer have to convert them. They're already a believer. They believe, for the business opportunity example, they believe in business opportunities, which makes them way more likely to buy another one than someone fresh off the street who's just now hearing it for the first time.
Right.
This is how me and Stapes, when we sell business opportunities, we don't have to convince anyone that it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, and when you're selling a business opportunity online, you'll get the question like, is this one of those like pyramid schemes or something like that? Stapes, when's the last time you...
My uncle, tried one of those. My grandma tried one of those.
And Stapes, when's the last time you got this question?
Oh, it's been years. Yeah, years.
We never get this question.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're targeting people who already love the industry.
Yeah. The last time I got that question, I was trying to sell people in my business opportunity in person who didn't want a business. They've never owned a business. They love they actually kind of enjoy their careers, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And so it'd be like this. If I saw an ad for golf clubs in my newsfeed, I'd be like, aren't those expensive? You know what I mean? Because I don't know anything about golfing and I don't see any value in it. That would be kind of my objection. Like, $1,000 for golf clubs? Like, isn't that expensive? Now, someone who's a golfer and they're in the niche, they're looking at those golf clubs like they're cheap as can be.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great deal. And so when you target people who are likely to buy your products and they're already involved in the niche, these big objections that a lot of people get, we just don't get.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get it because we don't have to convince them that it's a good idea. They already know that it's a good idea. It's an amazing.
Yeah. So how do we find them?
Yeah.
Right?
So in here, let me give the big
overall
example here, and you'll actually have access. So one thing to be aware of throughout this training is that a few of the modules have workbooks included. Not all of the modules is a workbook necessary. So if you don't see a workbook, that's because there isn't a workbook for that particular module. It just wasn't necessary. But this particular module, you will have access to this workbook. You can actually click the big button below this video and you can download the workbook right now.
Highly recommend it.
And you can actually read through it as we go through.
Print it out if you want.
Yeah. So here's an example. If you're selling golf clubs, the people most likely to buy would be people who are already golfers. If you're selling a business opportunity, the people most likely to join yours are people who are currently involved in a home business or they have been in the past because it's easier to sell to the converted.
Yep.
So just like Stapes says, how can you find those people on Facebook? Well, what we have, and I want you to write this down and get super clear on this because here's the reality. The more clear you are on who you're targeting and the more specific you are on who this is and how to do it, the cheaper all of your marketing will be.
Yeah.
Because
your messaging will fall into place. The words that you use, the intention behind your core message is going to be much more dialed in, much more refined.
Yeah. And again, just to explain why, imagine we have this big ocean, and this big ocean is all of Facebook. You have pockets of people, some who are interested in golfing, some who are interested in knitting, some who are interested in whatever. So you have this big Facebook, and within it you have these ponds. Well, if you aren't clear on how to find these golfers, and you're targeting everybody, the people interested in knitting and everything, all of this is just wasted ad dollars.
Yeah.
When the only people likely to buy are right here. And so what we want to do, like Steve says, is kind of like a surgeon and just target the people who are most likely to buy, and then we aren't wasting any ad dollars.
Exactly.
Our ad dollars are going to good use, and that's how we get the highest return on our advertising money. Does that make sense?
Very clear. Yeah.
Cool. So let's dive in. So imagine you're selling golf clubs. These are the 3 levels of targeting on Facebook as far as interest. So again, on Facebook, you have interest that you target. We'll show you exactly how to do that in future modules. How to do that on Facebook, click by click. So you have the interest that you target, and there are 3 different levels. So you have number 1. Now, number 1 is actually the most targeted that you can do.
Yeah.
This is the best, and that is let's actually start. So number 1 is the best. Let's start with number 3, and I'll kind of niche it down to the best. Is that okay, Stapes, if
Sure.
I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with number 3. So this is kind of the least targeted. And so here's what it is. So it is actually generic. So on Facebook, what you could do, let's say you're selling golf clubs. You could actually go on Facebook and just target golfing, right? Which is it's a very generic keyword. We don't know for sure who's in it. They might have just seen a post on Facebook about golfing and clicked like, but they're not really a golfer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give examples in the home business space of this here in a second. So that's generic, right? It's just targeting golfing. Then what you have is kind of its niche. It's in the niche a little more, but it's world famous. And so an example of that would be targeting something on Facebook like Tiger Woods. Now that's more what's that?
I was going to say, for example, my dad golfs.
Yeah.
Right? So he'll probably be in that generic golfing area,
Yeah.
but my mom doesn't golf. But maybe she likes Tiger Woods because she saw him, whatever.
Yeah,
for
and so it's a little bit more targeted, right? Because it's a little bit more targeted than just golfing. But the problem with this is that Tiger Woods is so world known that you might not be a golfer, but you still like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Like I might like Tiger Woods on Facebook, but I don't golf. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so the third and the most specific, and you want to write this down, is what is known as niche known. So a niche is basically just a subgroup. It's kind of what a niche is. And it's things only known by the niche. For example, Golf Digest. Or another example, so it would be targeting the magazines in that niche. Or it might be targeting the low-level pros
or golf trainers.
In that niche. Yeah, specific golf trainers. So it's getting only keywords that are known within that niche, like Golf Digest.
Or specific golf products. Like my mom wouldn't follow what's a big, TaylorMade. TaylorMade creates golf clubs.
Yeah.
I don't think people would follow TaylorMade unless they golf. Right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And so what we want to do with our ads is, so here's how we run the ads. What we do is we start here.
That's what I wanted to make sure they're clear. We start at number 1 and actually scale to number 3. We'll explain why.
Exactly. So what we do when we're doing our ads is we start with just niche known. So let's say, for example, you are in...
I think just dive into the home business.
Well, I'll give one more example, then I'll do the home business. So let's say, for example, you're selling weight loss. Right? You're selling a product on how to lose weight, or it might be a weight loss pill or something like that, potion, lotion, whatever it is, right? Well, if you look at that, it would be, number 1 would be generic, would just be weight loss.
Weight loss,
right? Would be just anyone within weight loss, but that might have just been someone who liked a random post within weight loss. Who really knows for sure who that is? World famous for weight loss would be something like P90X, right?
Oprah.
Or Weight Watchers, or Oprah.
Yeah.
It'd be something massive within that niche, right? And so they might be interested in losing weight, right? They're following Weight Watchers. But it's so world famous that I might be in the Weight Watchers niche just because I liked one of their random posts on Facebook without even actually being actively in this niche, an active buyer within this niche. And so what we want to start with is the people who are most active within the niche. And so that would be like small magazines within the weight loss industry, which I don't even know if I'm aware of. Or it would be like small niches. So, for example, one of the weight loss things for guys is a program called Kino Body, right?
Yeah.
Now, if someone follows Kino Body on Facebook, they're probably, which is kind of, he's a fitness guy, right?
Yeah.
They're probably really into the fitness game.
Or for example, like Jenny Craig.
Or Jenny Craig.
Really nuanced products or trainings, or like you're in the pocket of weight loss.
Exactly.
You're in the game of weight loss.
Well, who we want to target with our ads is active buyers and active representatives of those niches. We want to target the red hot people. The people who are in the game. And so here it is for business opportunity to give another example. So we have the generic example, then we'll explain how this kind of works when you go place your ad. So we have the generic example where you could type into Facebook, home business.
Yeah.
This is everyone sort of curious about home business at all, but we don't really know who that is. Home business,
how to make money, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, things like that.
And like if you look at the home business niche, we don't really know for sure who's in that. Because there are so many different branches of home business, right?
How many start a day?
Home business, there's so many different branches. We actually don't really know who this person really is, right? Even if you take the keywords of, like, look at, for example, home business. Under the branch of home business, you have two different types of home businesses, and we'll go over those now. So you have affiliate marketing, which is basically an internet marketer selling things online, and then you have network marketing. These are both branches of home business, right? They're both in the home business space, but they're actually very different, and the people that make up these interests are very different. They experience very different problems. They experience very different pains. They want different things.
They follow different leaders.
Things.
Yeah.
So if we just targeted home business, is it affiliate marketers we're targeting or network marketers? You're targeting both, and it gets kind of clumpy.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
There's probably 5 other things that tie into home business too.
There's so many.
I mean?
It could be people that fill out surveys.
Consulting at home, like
there's
whatever.
There's so many things, and the clearer you are, the more chunked down. So what we want to do when we market is we want to chunk down to just target very specific people so that we can write our ad for specific people. So I'll give you a world famous home biz level number 2 is the world famous, which would be kind of like targeting Tony Robbins. So a lot of people that follow Tony Robbins, they're entrepreneurial. Many of them are involved in home business, but like Safe says,
they're success oriented. You know?
Tony Robbins has also been on Oprah, though.
He just dropped a huge Netflix documentary. Like a lot of people know Tony.
He's so big that you could follow Tony and not be in home business.
Yeah.
Like, even though he is a personal development guy and they're entrepreneurial, it could be almost anybody. And then we chunk it down again to niche known, to specific, and that would be Eric Worre. Who's Eric Worre? Well, he's a leader in the network marketing industry. And trust me, no one knows Eric Worre unless you're in network marketing. He's not on TV. He's not advertising on the radio.
For home business number 2, like we're talking like TV shows like The Profit, all the entrepreneurial shows, all the big world famous kind of success-driven entrepreneurial stuff. Eric Worre, you know Eric Worre, you're in the game. You're in the pocket.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And so that's who we want to target. We want to target people who are in the, like, you do not know Eric Worre, you do not like his page unless you're a network marketer. You just don't. And we'll give you more examples of this here in just a second.
Do we have a list of maybe some more?
We actually have a list
Let's give them
of
some
our
of our
top
good
7.
keywords.
And we'll show you those here in a second. And so here's how marketing works. And what we'll do in later modules is really show you and really dive in, explain this. But here's what we do when we place an ad. So what we do first is we start with the most targeted, which is level number 1. Level number 1 is the most targeted. So first what we do is we write our ad and we target the most targeted people we possibly can.
One thing to note, it's also the smallest pool. It's also the smallest collection of people, which is important to know here. Because we're going to scale bigger as we grow and get more data.
Exactly. And so let's imagine, so here, let's say we go on Facebook today. We place our first Facebook ad, right? And we target Golf Digest, which is the most red-hot golfers there are. For example, magazines and things like that. And let's say we place an ad, we're targeting the most in the golf game, and we have this golf club ad. And the ad doesn't do well to the most targeted people you could possibly do, then we know the problem is probably with the ad, and we'll want to do a new ad. Now let's imagine the same scenario. We have our golf club ad. We start off with Golf Digest, and this ad freaking crushes it. If it crushes it with Golf Digest, then what we can do is expand the ad and then target Tiger Woods. So like Safe says, you're now targeting more people with the ad, and now it has a great chance to do well with the Tiger Woods. And then we go even more generic golfing. So we can take an ad where there might only be 100,000 people. in the most targeted niche. And I just made that up. It could be 1 million, whatever it is,
right?
Varies. It varies from niche to niche. It could be 100,000 and it crushes it with those 100,000. Then all of a sudden we could go do golfing and target 10 million people and it might crush it with those 10 million too.
Yep.
And that's how we scale campaigns. And again, in future modules, what we'll do is actually show you click by click how to do that.
Yep. You start with proven data.
Yeah,
first.
Exactly. Yep. We start with the most targeted people. We see if the ad does well with the people who are most likely to buy. If it does well with the people who are most likely to buy, it might do well with people who are a little less likely to buy. But if it bombs with the people most likely to buy, it's not going to crush with people less likely to buy. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So do we want to show them the keywords we start with?
So this is for, again, okay, so let's imagine a world right now where you're not in the home business space, where you're in the weight loss space, you're in the golf space, you're in whatever, right? You're not in home business. We're going to give you, me and Stapes, we're in the home business space, so we're actually going to give our top 7 keywords that we target first in the home business space. Let's imagine a world where you're not in that space, though.
Yeah.
What do you do? Well, what you want to do is you want to first find the niche known thing. So you go to Google and you type in your keyword with magazines after it. Or you would go to your, so it would be like weight loss magazines.
Or products.
Yeah. So, exactly.
Yeah,
this is just an example. So you'd start with weight loss magazines.
Yeah.
And then what you would want to do is find weight loss people. So it'd be like weight loss gurus and find the gurus within that space. Then it could be weight loss products and find specific products and companies or weight loss companies. And so you just keep searching and you can literally find dozens of keywords that are just niche known.
And you'll find and farm a lot of things that you didn't even know existed. Like all of a sudden there's a popular blog that gets 50,000 visitors a day that just teaches golf. You know what I mean? There's different things. So
exactly. And you would do that exact same. Let's say you're in the golfing space, the same thing. Golf magazines. And so you do golf magazines, golf professionals, golf. And you just do that for whatever industry you're in. This works for anything. What you start with is the niche known, not the world famous.
Yeah.
I know Tiger Woods even though I'm not a golfer, right? I don't know Golf Digest. I had to research Golf Digest for the example for this video. And so that's how you crush it. So if you're in the home business space, though, we've done a little bit of our homework for you, and we've made multiple 6 figures in the space with these keywords right here. Here are 7 proven home business interests. You can write these down. All together, me and Stapes, we have 20 to 30 that we target. These are just 7 of our best. They work almost these are 7 of our best people. And here they are. It's Russell Brunson, Network Marketing Pro, which is actually Eric Worre is the owner of Network Marketing Pro. My Lead System Pro, Ray Higdon, Robert Kiyosaki, World Ventures, Frank Kern. Now, what is all of these things? They're essentially people and companies that are niche known, except for Robert Kiyosaki, but he's crushed it for me so many times that I included it.
There you go.
Even though he is a little bit more world famous, he just seems to do really, really well for me. So, because the people in that space are typically highly entrepreneurial, highly active.
Yeah.
But all the rest of the people outside of him are essentially niche known people and companies. Like Russell Brunson. You don't know Russell Brunson unless you're an internet marketer. Now, he's getting a little bit more famous as we speak. He was just on The Profit. A little bit more famous, but like Ray Higdon. You just don't know Ray Higdon. Some of you might not even know who Ray Higdon is.
Yeah.
He's a trainer in the network marketing space. And you just don't know him unless you're in. And so what we do, these are the red hot people in the home business industry. And there are dozens
make thousands and thousands and thousands off literally just 7 keywords.
Of these keywords. And there are dozens more. So it's not like, well, I have the 7. I'm only going to do the 7.
And they change. They
that's true.
These keywords are living. It's a living, breathing data. There's people that join these, follow these people daily, and it's an ever-growing community of people that join daily.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
And so that is how to select the interest. So again, let's just kind of review this video real quick so that you're super clear. So when you want to get clear on Facebook, and again, in future videos, we're going to show you how to target interest on Facebook.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much, okay, like what buttons do I need to click? We're going to show you the exact buttons to click here in a little bit. Right now, we just want to get clear on the interest that we can target. And so, again, the question is, who's most likely to buy my product? The answer is people already in your niche. So it's if you're selling golf clubs, it's people who follow Golf Digest. It's people who follow the popular golf club brands. If you are selling weight loss, it's people who like popular weight loss magazines and popular weight loss products, things like that. And so that's your first step is like, okay, what kind of interest can I target on Facebook? And we're going to show you how to find dozens and dozens of interests in future videos. But we just want to start there. Then what you do after you know, okay, so it's golfers, or okay, it's people already in network marketing. then what we do is we get clear on how to find the specific people within that niche. And so then you would just go to Google, and I can even show it right now. Why don't I actually just show
I recommend
this?
While we're doing this too, get your journal out and just start drafting ideas. Start writing down little notes on the avatar that you want to start seeking out. And
so
help you get clear.
So I just went to Google and I typed in golf magazines, and here we go.
We've
got Golf Digest. I wonder how I found that. You know what I mean?
Today's Golfer, National Golf Club, Inside Golf,
and then we could do top 100 golf professionals.
Yeah.
And then find a list of professionals that we could target all of these. Like, I don't know Gary Woodland, right?
Yeah,
so if someone is following Gary Woodland on Facebook, they're in the golf niche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or let's say you're in network marketing. It could be top 100 network marketing companies. Like, the list goes on, and essentially this is your first step before you do any ads is actually just a little bit of research.
Yeah.
Then the more time you spend here to prepare before you do the ad, the better your ad is going to do. Sometimes preparation, like, what's the quote? Like, if I was given 7 hours there was like something, like if I was...
Luck, I know the one that's luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
From preparation. I think there's one with Abraham Lincoln. He's like, if I was going to go chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 90% of my time sharpening the axe.
Sharpening the axe,
Before. And so if you do a good job here, the ad becomes a little bit easier. And so your first step is research, is getting clear on niche-specific terms you can target.
Mm-hmm.
And again, in future videos, we'll show you how to find if those terms are on Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll show you exactly how to do that here in a little bit. So in the next video, right below this video, what we're going to do then is actually talk about the specific type of person that makes up that interest, because that's who we're going to be writing the ad to. We'll talk about that in the next video. See you in a sec.
See you then.